In the dying twilight of a Louisiana evening, the world seemed to hold its breath. The year was 1856, and the Belleville slave market, once full of shouts, bargains, and despair, was nearly empty. Rain poured from the sky, turning the red clay streets into rivers of mud. The auctioneer, a man named Samuel Price, stood beneath a torn canvas awning, his hat dripping water onto his ledger. Only 5 buyers remained, old plantation owners, their faces hidden under wide-brimmed hats. The night was meant to end quietly, but as the final wagon rolled in from the swamps, every sound in the square seemed to fade away. Inside the wagon sat a woman. She was tall, with dark skin that gleamed faintly in the torchlight, and eyes unlike any they had seen, grey, almost silver, shining like storm clouds. Her wrists were chained, her feet bare, but her posture was calm, almost regal. "Lot 79, Samuel called out, though his voice trembled. Age uncertain, no records, name unknown. No one spoke, no one moved. One man whispered, "Ain't that the one they pulled from the river, the one that didn't drown?" The auctioneer glared at him, quiet. But the whispers grew louder. They said the woman had been found by fishermen 2 nights before, her body pale, cold, and without breath. Yet when they laid her down for burial, her eyes opened. She looked around the market, her gaze steady. She did not beg, she did not cry. One by one, the men turned away, until a soft voice from the back of the crowd broke the silence. "I'll take her." The crowd parted, revealing a woman dressed in mourning black. A widow's veil hid her face, but her presence commanded silence. Her name was Evelyn Harrow, mistress of Asheville Plantation. "Sold," Samuel said too quickly, eager to end the night. The hammer struck wood. As the guards approached to unchain the woman, she finally spoke, her voice smooth and low, like a prayer whispered to the dark. "You can't own me twice." Samuel froze. "What did you say?" The woman only smiled faintly. "You heard me." Thunder rolled in the distance. A wind swept through the square, blowing out half the torches. When light returned, the wagon was empty. Only the chains lay there, open. Evelyn Harrow returned home that night through roads swallowed by mist. The horses grew restless near the bayou, and the driver swore he heard footsteps behind them, though the plantation lay miles away. When the carriage reached the gates of Asheville, lightning revealed the house, vast, crumbling, its white columns stained with years of neglect. The servants hurried to open the doors, but none dared look too long at the new arrival, the woman Evelyn now called Mara. "Prepare the east wing," Evelyn ordered. "She'll stay near me." The butler, an old man named Griggs, frowned. "Ma'am, that wing been closed since—" "Since my husband died. Yes, I remember," Evelyn interrupted sharply. "Do as I said." That night, as thunder cracked above the roof, the servants heard footsteps in the east hall, 2 sets. One light, one heavy. But Evelyn was alone in her room. Or so they thought. In the morning, Griggs found the piano uncovered for the first time in years. The keys were wet, as if played by hands still dripping water. Evelyn, pale and quiet, took her breakfast in silence. She asked for a silver basin and a towel. When it arrived, she stared at the water for a long time before saying softly, "The river remembers." No one understood. Weeks passed, the servants began leaving, one by one. The walls wept moisture even on dry days, the mirrors fogged without reason. One night, Griggs found Evelyn standing in the corridor, whispering to the air. "You'll be free soon," she said, smiling faintly. When he asked who she spoke to, she only replied, "The woman who saved me once." The next morning, the roses in the garden had turned black. The parlor clock stopped at midnight and never moved again. That evening, the sound of singing drifted from the east wing, a song in a language none of them knew. Griggs gathered his courage, climbed the stairs, and opened the door. The room was empty. But in the center lay a pool of water shaped like a woman's body. The 13th night came with no moon, only the whisper of wind through the broken shutters. Evelyn sat alone by the fire, clutching a photograph of her late husband. She whispered, "I thought death would end it, but it never does." Then the door creaked open. Mara stood there, her skin gleamed in the dim light. Her eyes, silver gray, reflected the flames. "You knew what I was," she said softly. "I knew," Evelyn whispered, "and I brought you home." "Why?" Evelyn smiled sadly, "Because we both were owned once, and neither of us ever forgot the chains." The fire dimmed, a gust of cold air swept through the room. Evelyn's candle went out. The next thunderclap shook the house, and when it passed, the chair was empty. Only 2 sets of footprints led toward the river. Years later, travelers passing through the Bellevuille swamp speak of a mansion buried in vines. Some say if you stop by the gate at midnight, you'll see 2 women walking along the veranda, one pale as moonlight, one dark as shadow. Sometimes, the faint glow of a candle flickers in the east wing, and a soft voice hums the same tune once heard at the auction long ago. Locals call it the Widow's Waltz. And they say that if you listen too long, the song doesn't leave your mind. It follows you, whispering the same 7 words until you dream of them. You can't own me twice. Some who went to the house never returned. Those who did came back pale and silent, unwilling to speak. But every generation, one soul claims to see them, 2 figures by the water, holding hands, fadding with the dawn. And when asked if they were ghosts, they only answer, "No, just women waiting for freedom to find them."